Hello, Brother Sewing and Crafting family. Angela Wolf here, Brother Brand Ambassador, and I'm super excited to see you. So my question for you today is, are you going on any trips? It is kind of spring break, but maybe you're not going on spring break, you're going on travels. What is the one thing you hate doing when you get to the airport? Well, besides parking your car. Filling out the little cheap pieces of paper to put on your luggage, right? Oh my goodness. Well, Emily Thompson's here today, and we're going to combine some Disney with some luggage tags. You are not going to want to miss this. So we are streaming today on Brothers Sewing Facebook and YouTube pages. And make sure you leave your comments. We are live in the chat today. But even if you're watching the replay, say hi. We'd love to hear from you. So let's welcome Emily Thompson. Emily, how are you?
I'm good. Hi. So glad to be here today. And I am so excited. We are a week away from spring break here. So I have a little bit of spring break fever, and I know that it's just kind of that time of year where people start either thinking about summer travels or spring break travels or travel in general, because we're getting towards summer and all kinds of travel season. So
I love that you said summer, although I'm not seeing it even anywhere near yet, but spring break sounds fabulous. And I love that we have Disney on our machines, because Disney is one of the most fun places to go, especially if you have kids. So would you agree, when you go to the airport, if you don't have luggage tags or something, you have to fill out those little pieces of paper? And I would have to say 9 out of 10 times I get my luggage back and that thing got ripped off anyways.
Yes. They just rip right off, and not okay. And of course, I wish I was going to Disney for spring break. I'm not, but I can channel the Disney with our project for today, which is a Disney themed luggage tag that you can make a permanent luggage tag for your bag. So whether you're going to Disney or not, you can make this cute little luggage tag. And I've made this out of a faux leather sort of vinyl. So it's really sturdy. The edges aren't gonna fray. The fun thing is you can make this on your embroidery hoop in a 4x4 or 5x7 hoop. The back side has this clear little window that you can put your address in. I have like one of those stamps that I use for our address. And so I just put a stamp on a piece of paper, and that's what I put in that window. If you have an address label, you could stick that in the window. So really easy, and you could mass produce these if you want to put it on all of your luggage before your next trip. Very easy to make. I'm going to show you how to do it. This whole project is done using actually designs from Artspira. So if you don't happen to have a Disney design machine, you could do that. This is the SE2000. It does not have built-in Disney designs. So I'm using the Disney designs from Artspira. But of course, if you have a Disney machine, which I know many, many of you do, then you absolutely could do this project with those designs that are built into your Disney machine already. All right, so there's so many ways that you can probably execute this.
I never ever thought about using an address label or a stamp and sliding it in. Whenever I think of embroidering on the tags, I think of putting the name, but then I can't change and share with my husband, or if I'm flying with my mom, it's her. This is a great idea.
Yeah, so that's what I was doing yesterday. I was kind of playing around with how would I do this. And actually last week I was thinking, I knew this show was coming up, and I was thinking, what was I going to do? And the Brother email newsletter came out, and I'm sure that many of you get that. And they actually featured a project that I did several years ago on the Brother blog, and it was luggage tags. And so you can go search on the Brother blog, and I did luggage tags years ago. And I did a hot air balloon embroidery design on the back, and not Disney themed at all, but I was like, oh, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do luggage tags, but we're going to make it Disney. So if you want to see a totally different way to make luggage tags, I think there was like a PDF pattern that you could print and make. Totally different luggage tag design. Also a fun way to make luggage tags, but very different. Go check out the Brother blog. There's another luggage tag design that I did many, many years ago, different project. but also luggage tags. So that was how I was inspired to do this. I was reading through the Brother email that came out, and that was what like triggered this project. And I was like, that's what we're gonna do. But we just like redesigned it and came up with a different way to do it. So let's, we're gonna open Artspira. I'm gonna show you how I designed this project and what it looks like, and then we'll get started on the sewing and embroidery, okay? So I'm gonna hopefully show you on my phone. I know it gets a little wonky. I don't have a direct connection yet, but I will lower the brightness so that we can do this. Sorry.
This will be great. While you're darkening that, I just want to remind everyone,
yes.
Emily just gave you a great reminder. Don't forget to sign up for the Brother Sews newsletter, because I got that too, and they always have cute projects. Always.
They do. Always links, and I'm always like checking out, and it's a good reminder of what they have in there. Okay. So if you have not checked this out, and I don't even know how long this has been in here, Angela, but one of the new updates is that there are new Disney designs in Artspira, and it hasn't been in here very long. But what I love about this is that they are individual. You can purchase them individually. So you find one design you like, and you can buy that single design. So I just love, you don't have to buy the whole catalog. You don't have to buy the whole bundle. You literally can buy a single Disney design. So that's what I did for this project. So you can go to Design Editor. You can see here I'm in the Embroidery Design Editor. And I'm in the 5x7 hoop, but really you could do this in a 4x7 hoop as well. So if you hit the Disney tab here, you can see what I've purchased here. And I purchased 2 designs for this project. The Piglet one, which I stitched out for the example. And then this is the one I'm going to do today, which is a little Tinkerbell. Okay, so that's really cute as well. But I just want to go back and show you some of the other ones and how you would buy this. So for example, if I wanted this little monkey from Aladdin, you can see what it is, how much it costs, gives you some information about it. If you go to the purchase button, okay, it tells you exactly what size it is. And it says, please check your hoop before purchasing. And then, so you can say either checked or cancel if you don't want. So you're definitely getting the information about that project or about that design before you would purchase. So they're really, you're getting all that information, and then you're just purchasing the single design and getting all that information. So I love that. And so I purchased those 2 designs for this project. So I have the Tinkerbell. Then also in Artspira, under the regular designs, is this cool little luggage tag. Look at that. Okay, so if you search luggage tag, you will find this, which is what I found to search it. And so I need to rotate one of these, and I'm going to actually rotate the Tinkerbell. Okay. And then I'm actually going to make this a little bit bigger. And just make sure that it's centered over top. All right, so now we have the luggage tag frame, which has that circle. Actually, I want to move the Tinkerbell down a little bit, so it's a little bit lower in the frame. Okay, so the Tinkerbell, then my luggage tag frame around there, and that's what we're going to send in the machine. Okay, so then we hit the finished button. I do not need to save this. I have favorited both those designs, so if I need to find them again, it's really easy. I'm sending it to the SE2000. And I'm going to hit the transfer button. Okay, transfer is complete and it's ready to find on my machine. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move my camera. So Angela, if you want to just go ahead and say hi for a second, I will move that.
I will. This is all preventing from the seasickness. So this is such a cute project. I've been playing in the Artspira, and if you all watched a couple weeks ago, there was some great tutorials from Cindy and Lynn on there showing the new font that was on there where you can combine a letter with some flowers. Every time I go in there, there's something new. I mean, it's amazing, but this is cool. And I did not realize they had a built-in luggage tag. How simple is that? And then you can just duplicate that a bunch of times if you've got a bigger hoop. So this is going to be a lot of fun. All right. So I see Emily getting fit. If you have questions, drop them. We are live in the chat today. And even if you're watching the replay, say hi. And if there's a topic you'd like to see coming up, let us know. All right, Emily, we can see you great. Can I bring you back up?
Yep.
There you go.
Okay. Now, I will say I was really actually excited about making, because of course you can see in the 5x7 hoop, I could make multiple of these designs. But when I went to add, Artspira will not let you add more than one of the Disney designs because of the Disney licensing in a hoop. It limits you to one Disney design. So while I could multiply the luggage tag design probably at least 3 times in this 5x7 hoop, I could not do that with the Disney. So if you were doing other designs, say monograms or anything like that, you could go ahead and mass produce it within a single hoop. But with the Disney designs, unfortunately, I am limited to 1 time per hoop. So just a note.
So, Emily, that's a good thing. No, but I have a question because I know it's going to pop up here. So you can, once you buy the design though, you can use it more than once, just one time, one hoop.
Yes, it is yours, and it's in the purchase tab under the Disney designs. So you go to Disney and then there's a purchase tab and it shows up. In fact, I messed up the first time I did this. So I went back and had to redo this design twice yesterday. So I know you can use it multiple times because I absolutely did. So yes. So once it's yours purchased, you can go ahead and use it. It just says you can't use it for commercial use. So I can't sell these luggage tags. But yeah, it's yours and purchased just like other Disney designs when you would have bought them like off Embroidery or anything like that in the past. So yeah, super easy to use. And I love that feature. Okay, so I have sticky stabilizer here in my hoop. I'm trying to score it here and take it off. Okay, and we're going to, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the clear vinyl in the black vinyl for the back side. Okay, this is 2 pieces of vinyl, the back and the front. So on the back side, we're going to take a clear piece of vinyl and I'm going to place it in the center. And then I'm going to take a black piece of vinyl. We'll cut these 2 sides after, and I'm going to place it on top. Okay, so you make sure that your clear piece of vinyl and your black vinyl are larger than your luggage tag will be. And then I'm going to slide it into the hoop. Now, what you could do is, I'm sure there's a rectangle on Artspira, but I'm actually just going to grab a rectangle design here in my designs on my machine. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll through until I find the simple rectangle, which is this one. And then I'm going to set it. We're going to resize it to be
Emily,
narrow.
It's just a little hard to see. There's like a glare on the screen.
Okay. Should let me bring this closer on the machine, and I will also.
There we go. That's getting better. A little more. We're going to be sewing in the dark.
Better?
That should be better. And also, as you're talking through each step, people can hear it as well. But it was just really hard to see. Let me see.
Yeah. Okay. Better. Sorry. Okay. So this is just the regular rectangle that's built into the machine. And then on here, you can reduce it proportionally, but I'm also reducing it unproportionally because I want to squeeze it more narrow. So I have kind of measured this piece of paper, and I know because it's in millimeters, my machine is set in millimeters. I could probably actually change that to centimeters or inches, but I know what I want it to be. So actually, let me measure again with my measuring tape, because you want to not make it too small or you won't be able to see your address, right? So I wanted about 2.5. Actually, the most narrow I can make it is 33 millimeters. So we're going to go with that, and it's 75 millimeters across, which is too big. So we're going to reduce it. Oops. Squish it in as well.
I love that. Squish her in.
I know. Squish it in. It's at 46, which is too big or too squished. So now I need to go back out. 52, a little bit more. So again, play with this rectangle. It doesn't go. Okay. You don't want to make it too big because honestly, you can see on this one that I got it like cut off here on the bottom, like a little bit too close. And it was hard to get it centered because I couldn't see it when I was working on the underside. So I want it as small as possible just because so it will fit on the bottom. Okay, so we're going to go with that and embroider that on the back side. Okay, so now we have that set. We're just going to do a rectangle. It's going to be here in the middle, and we have our vinyl is plenty big enough. The piece is plenty big enough. So we're going to hit OK and edit. Embroider. I have the purple, you could put your black on. I have the pink that I'm going to do Tinkerbell in. So I could leave that, or you could put your black on. I'm going to just do the pink in. And we will do the rectangle here, and then we'll trim it up before we go on to the next step.
This is really cute. So Emily, for somebody who wants to know what stabilizer are you using, embroidery stabilizer using on there?
So it's an adhesive stabilizer so that everything kind of just sticks in place and I don't have to hold it.
Great.
Yep, so I'm hooping the stabilizer and then not hooping really my project every time because the vinyl is really too thick to hoop. All right, so we're going to remove this. Then we'll move on to the second side. So I would say the one sort of weak part of this project is that the stabilizer is so sticky that sometimes it really sticks well to this vinyl. So I was able to get it off pretty well, but you know, sometimes the vinyl isn't, you know, this is very smooth, so it did come off, but yesterday I was like, oh, that stuck better than I really wanted it to, as I didn't really want it to stick to the vinyl. I just wanted to be able to pull it off. So I'm trimming the extra clear vinyl around because I really don't need it there. I just really want it in the window. Okay, so we're going to trim that. Now what we need to do is actually we need to cut this window open because this is what we're going to put the address inside there. Okay. So you're going to want to take like sharp, tiny scissors, and you don't have to use vinyl, but I would suggest for this project using any sort of fabric that doesn't fray because we have a lot of unfinished edges on this project. So anything that you don't think is going to fray when it's left exposed. And then the key to this is cutting this open without cutting through this back clear vinyl. So go very slow and careful and try to cut a hole open without cutting through the clear vinyl. And once you've gotten through, then you're just going to try to cut around very carefully, close to that rectangle stitch, but of course not through the rectangle stitch, to reveal the window behind. Okay, now there you go. You have your little clear window of rectangle exposed. And here's, I don't know if this is, I don't know. This is what I decided to do yesterday. There might be a better option, but because I wanted my paper to stay on here while I was then going on to my next step, is I decided to use a little bit of glue stick to hold it in place and let it dry while I was doing my embroidery. Now, if you wanted to leave a side open right here to make this exchangeable, then you absolutely could. What I would do is not use the design in Artspira. I would just do the embroidery, do the window, and then use your sewing machine to sew the two layers together. And then I would leave this side probably open to make a slot where you could slide it in and out, right? But because I'm making this more permanent and it's stuck inside, I'm actually going to glue a little bit of glue stick on either side here. Okay, so just a little bit. And then I'm going to place this here, and then I'm going to let it dry while we do our embroidery, so that when we do our last step, that this isn't sliding around, that paper is stuck in there, and that when we embroider it all together, that stays really nicely. Okay, so we're going to set this to the side, and we're going to hoop some more stabilizer, adhesive stabilizer into the hoop. And the way that I'm trying to keep this lined all up the best that I can so that I have the placement set is I'm putting the adhesive stabilizer in the very center of the hoop every time. So your hoop has these center markings. Okay, so it has the center notches, and I'm lining up the center of my tag every time with the center of those notches, so that as best I can, that's where the center of the tag is every time. So it's not perfect, but it did help me try to keep things lined up pretty well when I was making this. Oops, this is turned around. All right. So adhesive stabilizer in the center, especially because I am not doing more than one, I'm just doing one at a time in this hoop, then I can just do it in the middle. Of course, if you were doing more than one, then you could figure out a different sort of system for where you were going to be, a different grid system for where you're going to be lining up your tags. All right, peel back the stabilizer, reveal the adhesive, and this time you're going to take a new piece of the vinyl. We're going to lay it in the center. All right, and we're going to place this in the hoop again. So the center of the vinyl is approximately lined up with the center markings of the hoop. So we're going to pull this forward again. And this time we're going to retrieve that design that we sent to the machine. So we're going to cancel this selection. Okay, so we're going to go to the pocket, the cloud pocket. It says, please wait a while. And then here's the design that we got. So we're going to set that. Okay, and I see both the rectangle of the luggage tag and the little Tinkerbell. Okay. So there are just a couple of things that you want to note. There are 3 different colors that it's telling me it needs to do. One, the Tinkerbell, it says it's first. So the 3 minutes. Then is the luggage tag. Then is the black for the luggage tag. Is it the Tinkerbell? What is this? 5 minutes at the, oh no, then is a black, it does 1 minute of a black outline, and then it does 5 minutes it takes to do the outline of the luggage tag. Okay, so when I do the luggage tag, I want to have both of my layers of vinyl in the hoop, right? Because I embroidered both of these together. So I will want to, before that step happens, I will want to add this to the hoop. So depending on how you layered your design in Artspira will depend on whether the Tinkerbell is first or the Tinkerbell is last, and whether the luggage tag is first or whether the luggage tag is last. So when I did this yesterday, one time the piglet was first and one time the piglet was last. So should the Tinkerbell be second, then I would want to go here to the plus minus on the needle button, and I would want to skip ahead 2 threads so that I would be doing the Tinkerbell first. Then I would go back and do the luggage tag second. Okay, so you want to make sure that the first thing you're embroidering is your Tinkerbell or your piglet or whatever Disney design you're doing it. And of course, I chose a design that was a single color to make it very simple for us to see here today, but you might be doing a Disney design that is multicolor, okay? So just make sure that you're doing your Disney design before you're doing your luggage tag, because the luggage tag design needs to be through both layers of vinyl. So you could also send it in 2 separate transfers from Artspira. I'm choosing to just do it in a single transfer. So that's up to you. You could send your Disney design, then you could send the luggage tag. So just some options. But we're gonna start with the Tinkerbell, and it will take 3 minutes to embroider the Tinkerbell. So we're gonna lower the thing. We have a yellow go ahead, and we'll watch our Tinkerbell be embroidered.
So Emily, this is such a cute and easy project. And just out of curiosity, what machine are you using? You said
this is the SE2000.
Yeah. And so I know quite often in the comments, people will say, hey, my machine, how do I know if it's going to work with Artspira? Well, you have to have the Wi-Fi or Bluetooth access here. And this one has Wi-Fi. So even though this machine, I love this machine. I use it for travel because it's really light and easy to carry around. The embroidery is beautiful. You can have a 5x7 hoop on there. But also, your whole world of embroidery opens up when you add Artspira to it, because there's a ton of designs. And like I said, I didn't even know that luggage tag was in there. I need to do it now before I travel next week.
I know. I just randomly will search for keywords and see what pops up. There were actually like 5 designs that popped up when I put luggage tag. This was the only one I would really consider a luggage tag, but there were multiple designs. So you never know what you're going to find when you search in Artspira and see what you get. So
this looks so much fun.
There really are lots of fun things.
So again, we're live in the chat today. Drop your questions in the chat if you've got questions for Emily on this project, or just any questions in general. And also, if you're watching the replay, let us know too, because we would love to hear from you. So any tips, Emily, on choosing vinyl? Is there a certain thickness you want for this, or does it really matter?
Great question. You know, I don't think it really matters. I will say that you want a higher quality vinyl when you're embroidering on it, because as you can see, the needle is punching through this vinyl many, many times. And so if you're using a lower quality craft vinyl, it's more apt to rip through or tear apart just because it's being punched apart. So it literally could be ripping or cutting it as the needle is going through, because it's being, you know, literally cut by the needle as it goes through the same spot so many times. So this is a higher quality vinyl that I used to sew bags with, and I just had some scraps left over. So I knew that it would work well for embroidery. It also wasn't super inexpensive when I bought it, so I figured that it was a higher quality, thicker weave. The backing is a little bit thicker and has a pretty thick fuzzy backing on it. It's not super thin, and I knew that that would hold it together pretty well for the embroidery as well. So just make sure that you have something that's going to hold together. You could do a test run as well to make sure that it's something that's going to hold together, because it is, being fairly punched apart as it's being embroidered on.
Well, and also what you just mentioned, I was thinking the same thing when you said that, using scraps, because how many of us have a ton of scraps and you're only using a little piece of fabric? And I'm just thinking of some of the vinyl I just finished. It's like a faux leather from a jacket I was working on. This would be perfect for that.
Yes. If you have a bigger project that you've made, this is not going to take very much at all. You really need 2 pieces about this size, and then you can make a luggage tag. So and I've even cut this, a little bit bigger than I needed. This is all it really was, but I just wanted to have extra so that I didn't have to line it up exactly as I was creating this project. So I made it bigger than I needed just so I didn't have to line it up exactly as I was going through. Okay, so there's our little Tinkerbell. So cute. So the designs I was looking at and choosing I was making sure that, one, I was looking for single color designs, and I was looking for pretty small designs because I wanted them to fit within that luggage tag border. All right. So I knew that the luggage tag, you can expand. You could see I was pinching that and moving it. And of course, I could have even rotated it and made it bigger, but who needs a giant luggage tag hanging off your bag? This is about as big as you would really want it. So you just make sure that you're picking a little Disney design that's going to fit within that border. And then I wanted a single color just so I didn't have to change my thread a million times today in the demonstration. But there were several options within the size range and then within the color range that I was going for. Okay, so we're going to change this out one more time today. Okay, and use one more piece of stabilizer because we're going to hoop this together now. So you can see we're still in the middle of this design. I've stopped it in the middle of the embroidery. This machine stops between each design, so I need to push start before it would go on to the next one. It's not going to automatically go on to the next part of the design without me pushing start. So that's perfect. It's waiting for me to push start, so I can just have it wait for me while I get ready this next section here. And now I'm going to put both layers of vinyl together. I'm definitely going to have to throw this needle away after I've done these tags because this has gone through lots of pieces of stabilizer and lots of thick vinyl here. All right, so now I'm going to put the name portion down. Okay, so right side down. And I'm putting the center, lining up the center on that center line of my hoop. Okay, right on the center line of my hoop. Let me move this back just a tiny bit more. Okay, so trying to line that up right in the center. Then we're going to do the same thing with the Tinkerbell. So we're lining her up right in the center. Now, she does not stick, okay? Because this part is stuck. And trying to think here. This is in the middle. Which side? I think it'll be fine. Do I want the circle? Sewn on.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking, what happened? Yeah, you're right. You have to be careful because the circle really wouldn't go through Tinkerbell. It'll be on the left side maybe.
Yeah, I think it'll be above up here. I'm just trying to think where I put it here because I really did this in the middle. I maybe should have shifted my rectangle a little bit down here, but I can always shift. It's really way up here at the top of my hoop, so I think it'll be just fine up here. I will use the placement guide to check this before I embroider.
Good idea. You're showing so many tutorials on that machine, even if you didn't intend to.
I know. Well, I gotta check. Okay, so I'm just gonna like peek under here, make sure that Tinkerbell is right on top of that label, right? So she is right on top of that label so that if I embroider around Tinkerbell, then I'm also embroidering around the label. And what I will do is it's going to embroider, oh, actually, we're going to change thread. Okay, we're going to put on black thread so that it's black on black and we don't see this, the embroidery quite so much. We don't really want black and purple as the thread for the outline. That would just be a little bit much, I think. Okay.
Oh, did everybody see that beautiful, easy to use auto threader? I love that.
I know. Bing. Okay, so now we're putting this back on. Okay. Tinkerbell's in the middle, right on top of. So I'm going to hold just kind of gently with my fingers. It's going to do a quick little one-line border, like just a placement stitch, right? And then it will do the satin stitch that will take the longer time to embroider, and I won't have to hold it then. So I'll just hold it while it does the placement stitch. But first, we're going to go back. And we're going to press this little button here in the middle. It's like a square with an arrow. And what that opens up is this placement guide. So I can just push this one, and that shows me what the very bottom will be. I can push this one, and it shows me what the very top will be. Then we can check the sides. That is a little bit too far over that side. Why is it? So we're going to go this way and we're going to move it. Okay. So then let's try this again. So this side, this side, this side, this side. So we want to keep, instead of moving Tinkerbell, I want to keep her on top of the label, right? Because if I just move Tinkerbell over, then we're going to not end up on our label. Okay, I think we're good. So we're going to go to embroidery again. Now we've started the embroidery over because I exited out of there. So I'm going to go to the skip. We're going to skip ahead one color. And now we're on the placement guide. So we skip past Tinkerbell. Now we're on the embroidery guide. I'm going to hold this while it does the placement stitch. It's doing like a quick little zigzag around.
This is such a simple project, but it's going to be so elegant.
Yes, I think I think it would make like a really good gift if you could monogram it or whatever you want. Okay, then the last step is to, now it's all held down, I don't have to hold it anymore, is to just let it do the satin stitch and the more official finish around and the little circle. So we'll let that go and it will finish. Hopefully it's all lined up when it's done, and then we'll do the big reveal. So yeah, so it's because I have the 2 layers, we're not seeing both layers. There is a little bit of guesswork. Of course, I could be lining it up more perfectly. I could probably be using an exact placement grid. If you have, of course, if you were doing this on your Stellaire or your Luminaire and you have a placement, a laser placement guide or the placement camera, then you would be absolutely perfect on your placement. But I'm doing much more guesswork using this machine. But again, I think it's working out just perfect. I'm totally fine with it. It doesn't have the window on the back. If it's a little bit not centered perfectly, I'm okay with that. I still think it looks great. You could also center it perfectly by just lining it up, say not in the hoop, and then you could just sew around with a satin stitch or use a zigzag stitch and not use the luggage design from Artspira if you wanted as well. And then that would allow you to leave an open end if you wanted to change in and out. So you have some options, some different ways to do this. Hopefully this just kind of inspires you to think about what you might want to do, some ideas of how to make luggage tags, and of course, make it your own. Think about how you would want to do it and come up with ways that you can be creative doing this as well. I couldn't hear that. I don't know if I could. I don't know if you were muted when you said that.
I'm sorry. I muted myself because I was sneezing. So I was sorry about it. Everyone's like, we can't hear you. I can see it in the chat. Hey, I was thinking this would make not only a good luggage tag, but when you're doing a gift or a birthday gift or something like that, my mom's birthday is next week, I could make this with a monogram, use that as a gift tag on the package, but then also she can use it later. And not only as a luggage tag, it would make, I was looking at it thinking that would really make a good book, a saver in the book, like a book a book marker. That's what I was looking for.
Yes, that's a great idea. Yes, use it on a gift, and then it has multiple uses after as well. So endless possibilities. And I know that I have ideas, but people always take my ideas and take them 5 steps further and are even more creative than I could ever be. So take my inspiration and go farther, for sure.
I love this. I love this.
So I will say that when I peeled this one off, there was this black vinyl had quite a bit of the adhesive stabilizer that stuck to it. And I don't know, it was because of, it got pressed really hard due to the embroidery on it, but I had to use a little bit of adhesive remover to get the stickiness off. So this was a little bit of the weak point in my project, to get the adhesive stabilizer off. So I don't know if anyone has, if that happens again, then maybe someone will have a better idea of how to do this part of the project without having the adhesive stuck all over this part of the project. Because the rest of it all seemed to peel off okay, and it wasn't a problem, but at this point, I don't know. So we'll see what happens if it's really stuck on and I have to, really work at peeling it off again. I didn't love that. So I don't know if it was a fluke or if it will happen again, but I wasn't impressed with that, and there's got to be a better way. So I don't know if I should have just pinned it on regular. That's what I was thinking. Maybe I should have just like clipped it, used like craft clips on regular stabilizer. So
you know, Emily, one thing that you could do is put, it depends how big the piece is, though. You could actually just layer that bottom piece underneath your stabilizer under the hoop. So then like you're sandwiching that stabilizer. So you'd stick the top one to your stabilizer and then put the other piece underneath, and just kind of, you could use a little 505. Oh, that's not a Brother project. Use some spray to stick it on. And so then you'd have your vinyl, your stabilizer, and then your vinyl in the middle.
Yes. So we'll see here.
Oh, it's looking good though. Look, yeah.
Yeah, this is coming off better, but it was kind of in. So, I mean, I love adhesive stabilizer, but you know, when it doesn't work, then you're like, so you can see in here. So then I just took and I cut from the right side so that I was making sure you want to cut close to the stitches, but of course not through the stitches. This is again why you want a product that's not going to fray, because I'm leaving just a little bit exposed.
This is so cute. Oh my goodness.
And then clip your threads. And then of course we have to remove that stabilizer. And then this, speaking of, it's sort of like punching the vinyl, you can really just sort of pick out this circle pretty easy on both sides, because it did just do. So let's see here if we can lift this sticky here. Will you come off without me having to go get the, see? So yeah, I think if I was going to make many of these, I would be annoyed by having to go get like the adhesive remover and scrub it, which is what I did yesterday. I had to spray and scrub to get it off, which I wouldn't want to do multiple times. So it does come off.
I can definitely relate to that.
It just like takes some work. So yeah, brainstorm other ways to do this final step maybe. Where you don't have to, well, this one actually not so bad.
It only took a second. It's all off.
Yeah, that's not, yesterday I literally was like, I can't do this without a remover. So not so bad. It'll take me a minute, but I'll get it. But anyway, we're going to cut through this, add a ribbon or a zip tie or however you want to attach it to your bag, and you literally have a super cute tag here.
Oh, that is so cute. Yeah, first thing when you held that up, I wasn't even thinking luggage tag. I was like, oh, that looks like such a cute bookmark. And it would too.
Yeah, it would. Yes. So very fun. You can do with one what you want. I mean, of course, different color vinyls would be fun too, but I had this black and I think it looks really fun with the bright color embroidery thread. So yeah, there you go.
Really
fun project.
It really looks cute.
Yeah, I hope you then make something fun with it.
I know. So come back to us because I want to point out two things. One, you can leave your comments. We're live in the chat today. And Emily was mentioning at the beginning, don't forget to sign up for Brother's newsletter because they always are giving fun things. And they actually showed a project that she did a while ago, some other luggage tags, and that's on the Brother blog. Or hashtag, we should do luggage tags bookmark. Look, I would love to know in the comments the luggage tag or a bookmark, because I've been reading so much. I just think that's why I was thinking that. But you could make these so fast and so quickly.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, in a big hoop, you could definitely make so many of them. So it'd be super fun.
I know, and I know a lot of people here have the Luminaire or the Stellaire or the Avenir, which has pretty large hoop. Avenir has a huge hoop. I could make these for my whole family probably.
Yeah, and on those machines, you just can make your own. Grab your own like rectangles, little circles, like design your own. You know, you don't even need the built-in designs. Put it all together yourself. It's super easy.
Very fun, very easy. Oh, Emily, you always have the best projects. So I have your website scrolling below, Life So Savory, and you've got Brothers Sews below. And also, I want to remind you that if you've purchased a new machine recently, make sure you go to Brothers' site and register it, because some of the machines have free master classes with them. We want to remind you of that, and you have access to that once you register. Not all the machines, but the Avenir, the Stellaire, and the Airflow as of today. And the Luminaire has a master class. You just have to talk to your dealer about getting that class now. So I'm bringing you back, Emily. Your shoes look good.
Yeah. Ooh, my slippers.
So would you have any tips for someone? Just one more quick thing. If someone has never embroidered on vinyl before, I know sometimes it can be intimidating because it is a little thick, and you can get it in like the home deck section of a lot of fabric stores. Yeah. I've embroidered on it, and the first time I ever did it many, many years ago, I was so afraid that, because it's kind of thick. It embroidered beautifully. Are you using any special needle, or just a standard embroidery needle, or just standard 12?
You know what? I don't even know what's in my machine. So
whatever you had works. But
I actually think it's like a universal needle, because that was what was sewn in there. So yeah, you don't want a super thin needle, like a super delicate needle, but your just universal embroidery needles will work just fine in there. Yep. Yeah, and
I was trying to think. I had one that it looks thicker than the fabric you have there, and I think I used a denim number. I think it was called denim number 14, which is a little thicker, kind of like going through a top stitching, and that worked beautifully too.
You can always slow down your machine too if you're scared. Slow down the stitching just a little bit. I know that sometimes makes me feel a little bit better when it's not like flying so fast. For thicker piece of materials.
I know. This is such a fun project. I can't wait to see what everybody else makes. And you have time before spring break or your next trip, and also it would make a great gift. So Emily, as always, thank you. And by the way, she has a ton of free patterns on her website, so you'll want to go there and visit. And if you go to angelawolf.com, you'll see the schedule coming up, who's coming on. We're trying to stick to Tuesdays and Thursdays again while everybody's schedule's allowing it. And until next time, happy sewing. This is a great project.
See you next time.
All right, so I'm going to close with a video for the Avenir about the voice recognition. Did you know that it can talk to you? And don't worry, you can turn it off. But I kind of like it. I've been leaving it on. Emily, great to see you. I'll see you on social.
Bye.
Bye.
Attach the embroidery frame in the initial sewing position.